Hi guys, it's me Karen and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. Today I'm doing a video on the last, I'm going to say 4 months of pages that I have finished. I noticed when I was looking at my channel, the last flip through of completed pages I did was back at the end of June. So we have July, August, September, and October here. So we're just going to start in on the pile. I've got them all marked down so we don't have to spend too much time. This is the Tickets to Dream by Carolina Kowalska. I'm not good at names, so we did this page here. On the little tags I wrote down what I used. So on this page I used Derwent drawing pencils and Distress ink for the background. Well, sometimes you don't get a very good look at the pages when I'm doing them because of the glare up here on the lights, but I'd like you to see what we're doing when we're working on them. Okay, the next page, same book, yeah, is the owl here. And we did this with Distress ink and polychromos. So mostly Distress ink on her, him, her, it, owl. And in the background here, and then some polychroma work on the eyes in this one. And I don't know if this one was showed before. This one is done with just a whole bunch of watercolors and a ton of water on the page. And it's a little crinkling, but I mean, I poured water on here. So that's what it looks like in this book when you use a bunch of water. This one is done with watercolor and probably a tiny bit of polychromos just for the shadows in the depth. And yeah, I'm touched my hand here and went in here, so the background of that one is going to be blue too. Okay, we're going to put this somewhere up there. Magical Dawn, we just finished a page in here yesterday. Yeah, so we did this one, and I'm going to try to get the sparkle to show on that. So we have stickles all over these pages and they sparkle really nicely. I don't know if it's going to show up, but yeah, it's all over. Did this one, the whole book is done in these colors. So we've got the purple, the pink, the green, the blue, and of course I did Distress ink on the background. Stickles is the glitter that's all over the pages. I also did the butterfly page over here. Again, this is Prismacolors, same colors. There's no green on this page though. And the stickles are all over the butterflies. So we have sparkles all over these guys. There's white acrylic paint and black acrylic paint in the background on this page. The black is going to be followed over to this page when we get to it. That's why it's all splattered on that page. So those were the last two I did in that one. This one is Linda Ravencroft's Fairy and Fantasies coloring. I think this is her first book. And I did this mushroom page here with Inktense and polychromos. All of the pages I'm showing you are on Instagram if you want to check them out. And YouTube channel also has tutorials on all of them. So that's the one we did here with the Inktense. A little spot down here. And there's a tiny little snail right up there. So that one. Grab some more books over here. Get these out of the way. We've got 3 in the Mein Reise durch Europa. Travel Through Europe by Rita Berman. So we started this page first. That's kind of like the beginning page. Sargent Art pencils. So I pulled out the Sargent Arts and tried them. I got a tiny bit of Distress ink down here and up in the clouds. We did this one with the Posca pencils that I had purchased. Nice bright colors. And a little bit of Distress ink and stamping in the background. This one here is Loomies and Polychromos. And we did that all with pencil. I do not believe there's any distress ink on that page. I know, kind of shocking. This one here is done with the Faber-Castell Pit Pastel pencils and the Polychromos. These are just fun pages. Okay, this book is called Draw a Lovely You, and I don't know the artist's name. Sorry. I did this page here, and we did this in polys. And yeah, I think that is it. Just polychromos on this page. Tiny bit of Posca in her eyes, but other than that, it's what we have. I think that turned out really pretty. I was working on another one, but there is no video for this one. It's not finished yet. This one has a video on it. Okay, next book. This one, Girls with Flowers, I believe is what this one is called. And I did this page here. I used the Spectrum Aqua Blend pencils and a little bit of Posca in here too. That one turned out really cute. This one reminded me of my daughter when she is baking downstairs. So we did that one. And the ink house. I finished the whole book. There is a video on that. There we go. I did Mary Shelley, but I don't know if there's a video up on her. I don't know. I didn't find it, but I know I did that one, and then I did the last page here. This one is, well, they're all kind of done the same way. They all have distress ink on them first, and then a little bit of touch-up with the polychromos on them to put in depth. But there's a video on the flip through and the whole, basically the whole book. If you want to check that out, it's on my playlist, also on my channel. This book here is the Cutie Dolls coloring book. And this is the name down here. I'm not even going to try. And I did this cutie pie in here. This I did with the Pablos and distress ink in the background. So the distress ink, I made the little mounds here, pulled up some grass, the clouds. The rest of that is done with the Pablo pencils. I love the colors on this one. Anyway, that's one I did in that one. Then we have this book here. This one is called Flowers, Girls and Boys. So you have all those things inside of here. As far as I know, that's the name of the watercolors that they use in this book when you're looking at the pages. So they're all done in watercolor, and that's the watercolor brand they use. I did this one, and I did this one in Holbein's and Pablo's drawing pencil a little bit in there too. So this is all pencil. This one I did in watercolor. This is the Van Gogh watercolors with polys put on top. These are test pages in the front of the book. You put your phone on here and you can get a tutorial that can walk you through how you can color them. So if they have that in here, you can see how they're done with those watercolors, and they'll give you the names. I don't have that set yet, but I thought about it. But the whole book has got the picture here, and then the colors you can use to create that here, and then you just do your own thing on that side. It's kind of a fun book. I like that one. Okay, Moments Wholly for Yourself by that name there. And in here I did this one, and I did this all with polychromos. I had fun with that. It's a really fun picture. I love the birdies. So I did that one in that book. I don't think I've done any other ones in there. Oh, I did this one, but that was a while back, so that's done with distress ink in the background, white acrylic paint on top of the polychromo pencils. And I think that's it. Okay. Ken Masuto's coloring book. And I did the little piggy over here. This one I used the color tints, the polychromos, and distress ink. Cutie pie, isn't she? Just an adorable little happy pig. Okay, another Linda Ravencroft Fairy and Art Crafts book, but it's number 7. And in here, I did the dragon. I used watercolors, the Prisma Complexion set, along with the Vintage Pastels, Jane Davenport's Glitz Sea palette, and the Shadows it's a palette of black colors and polychromos. And yep, there's a video for that you can watch. It turned out really cool. It's a little bit of white pencil work on there too, just to have his features stand out a little bit. Okay, hopefully that pile will sit there and not fall. Okay, this book. It's a Maria Troll. And then there's the name. And I've got a couple pages in here. Okay, this one I did with polychromos and a little distress ink in the background. Had to do the little snail guy. And then I did the little frog. And I did this with the square brute fooners. And I got a little pencil mark here, but that's okay. I'll try to erase it at some point in time. But I think it turned out really cute. I like the way I did the little dragon guy's wings and the flower. So we got that one done. That might fall. If you hear a big thump. On the other side of the dream, another Carolina Kubowska book. We did 2 pictures in here. We did this one here, and this one was in distress ink and polys. I'm kind of doing the book, the first page I did in here. Boom, boom, boom. With the kind of brown, kind of like an old scrap book that you would have, that you would press flowers in and stuff like that. So I'm kind of doing it in that color range. Did this one here. This is the little, is this the wolf or the fox? Wolf, fox. Distress ink with a little bit of poly work on there. Most of this is all distress ink and then a little bit of polys for the eyes. And I'm going to see what else I put the pencil on. Distress ink does not shine. So there's a little bit of white in here too. And then the whiskers. So that one. We did a picture in the Posh Coloring Book, Inspired by Nature by Marion Baston. And this one is a squirrel one we did. And I did that with polychromos. I don't think there's, there might be a little tiny bit of distress ink in there, but I don't think so. I think I did that background all with the polys. He has a little bit of distress ink on him, probably. Just because everything I do has to have a little bit of it. So there we go. Yep, that book. Love coloring in that one. Did a page in Intricate Ink Animals in Detail Volume 5 by Tim Jeffs. And we did this one. I think this is called the Black Trout. Brown Trout. distress ink with a little bit of drawing, the drawing pencils, Derwent drawing, and some polys on here, just to give him a little more coloration on him. These are fun pages to do. Really easy to do with your distress ink. I'm going to have to start putting these somewhere else. This book here is by Rita Berman. This is her Seasons book. And I did a page in here. I was playing around with the Derwent Color Softs, wanted to see how they worked in the book. So we just did the, I don't know what you call it, a garden picture, trees, mountains, flowers, background, and I put a little acrylic paint back there too. I thought that turned out good. The color softs worked well in this book. I'm going to put that on this side. And the Disney Thomas Kincaid Studio Coloring Book. It's like the Posh books. I did the Winnie the Pooh page. And this one I just had a lot of fun with. Didn't worry about what I was using, so I used a whole bunch of different brands of pencils. Polys, probably some Prismas, probably Light Fast, Luminance, whatever was on my desk to get the coloration kind of similar to what is on the other side. But I think that one turned out really well. Tigger and Piglet. Pooh Bear. I got Rabbit's house back there. Had a lot of fun with that one. It one took forever though. Okay, now we have Wild Soul Coloring Book by Grazio Solo. And we will pop in here. We did the Afghan Hound page. Her skin is done with the pen pastels, polychromos for shading, and distress ink. The background is definitely distress ink, and that they will be distress ink in both of their hair. This outfit here would have been done with the polys. But I think that turned out really well. And then we have the lion. This is done with Light Fast, Luminance, and Distress inks. And I had a lot of fun with that one too. Yep. Okay. Oh, on that side, or the whole thing will fall down. The Friendship Vintage Grayscale Art by Rachel Mintz book. I did 2 pages in here. Wanted to test out the Faber-Castell Pit Pastels and polys together. So I did this in pastels and a little bit of polys just to do some shading in here. I think he turned out really cute. Little ladybug. And then we did this one, which is done in distress inks with a tiny bit of polychromos for shading. But most of this is all done in the distress ink. We got little bees. But yeah, had fun with that. This is done on like Amazon paper. So if you get really dark with the distress ink, it'll come through a little bit. I added water on here to get that to, like in my other books, to get a speckled look, but on this paper it won't really do that. I mean, if you look really, really, really close, you can see a little bit, but that's why when I sprayed the water, the water came through the back, not the ink. Well, the ink came with the water. I'll put it that way. The ink came when the water soaked through. If I didn't spray water on it, you wouldn't have seen it. So, let's see the other page. No, that was Pit Pastels. So, I know I did another page in here that I used distress ink on. And that's this one here. And I sprayed it right here because you can tell the page is all wrinkled, but in the center there was no water and that wouldn't come through. So always do a test in the back of your book if you want to know if the distress ink will bleed through or not. That one's really thin. On the last page, this is Johanna Basford's World of Wonder, coloring book for the curious. And I did one in here. I did the tree. And again, this one was done with the square Brute Ferner pencils, Distress ink, and then in here I went around with a black Posca pen because I had it out on my desk and I didn't want to get out any paint. But you could do it with paint. So yeah, tree's done with the Distress ink. Background's done. We even stamped it here, and then go in with the Brutes and colored in the shading. Cool, huh? Okay, well that's it. All whatever amount of books these are that I have to put away. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all those pages, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye now.